I woke up before my alarm because the house was already loud. Not shouting loud. Happy loud. I stood in my doorway and watched my parents carry suitcases toward the car. Jason was on the porch, grinning, holding a coffee like he owned the morning. "Careful with that one," my mom said, laughing. "Your books are heavy." Jason smirked. "That's what college is for, Aunt Linda." My dad chuckled. "You're going to do great, kid." I cleared my throat. "So, what time are we leaving?" My mom didn't look at me. "Oh, Ethan, you're taking the bus, remember?" The words landed softly. That was the problem. Soft words still hurt. "The bus?" I asked. "It's easier," she said. "Jason's campus is on the way. Yours is kind of out there." My dad nodded like it made sense. "You'll be fine. You're independent." Jason laughed. "Look at you, man. First taste of freedom." I forced a smile. "Yeah, freedom." No one noticed my hands shaking. No one noticed I had one bag, while Jason had 5. My mom hugged Jason. "Text me when you arrive." "I will," he said. "Thanks for the ride." I stood there with my backpack. "My bus leaves in 20 minutes. "That's nice," my mom said. "Don't miss it." I wanted to say something sharp. I wanted to ask why I didn't matter. Instead, I said, "Okay." The car doors closed. The engine started. My dad waved. "Call us later." I waved back like a stranger. At the bus stop, an old man asked, "College?" "Yeah," I said. "Good luck," he said. "Your folks drop you off?" "No," I said. "They had another stop." He nodded like he understood. He didn't. On the bus, I sat by the window. A girl across the aisle was crying quietly. Someone behind me argued on the phone. Life kept moving like nothing had happened. I pulled out my phone and scrolled through old photos. Family dinners. Birthdays. Jason always in the center. Me on the edge. I remembered my mom saying, "Be patient." My dad saying, "Don't make it a big deal." Jason saying, "You're cool, bro." I whispered, "Then why do I feel like this?" The bus jerked forward. The city blurred. I pressed my forehead to the glass. I thought about every time I waited. Every time I understood. Every time I told myself it was fine. A message popped up from Jason. "We're almost there. Campus looks sick." I typed, "Good luck," and deleted it. When the bus finally stopped, no one was waiting for me. No hugs. No photos. Just a campus map taped to a pole. I stepped off and felt something crack inside me. Not anger. Not tears. Something quieter. I picked up my bag and said to myself, "I see you." For the first time, I meant it. I opened my notes app and typed without thinking. "I don't know what I did wrong," I wrote. "I followed the rules." I deleted it. I typed again. "Maybe I'm just extra." I laughed once, quietly, and a woman beside me glanced over. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "First day." "Same," she said. "You nervous?" "I think so," I said. "Or disappointed." "In who?" she asked. "Myself," I said, then paused. "Maybe my family." She nodded like that made sense. "That one hurts longer." "What do you do when they don't notice?" I asked. "You notice yourself," she said. "Or you disappear." "I don't want to disappear." "Then don't," she said. "Show up anyway." The bus rattled. Someone laughed up front. A driver called out stops. I whispered. They didn't even ask if I wanted a ride. "That's not love," I said. "You'll learn the difference," she replied. When she left, the seat felt colder. I locked my phone and took a breath. I said out loud, barely, "I'll remember this." No one answered. I told myself this ride would matter later. I told myself pain was information. I watched my reflection shake in the glass and promised I would never forget how quiet this felt, how alone, and how it pushed me forward without asking permission. I knew this moment would follow me, shape me, and remind me why I learned to walk alone before learning how to trust again fully. College didn't hit me all at once. It crept in slowly, like a habit I didn't notice forming. I learned the bus routes, the cheapest food, the quiet corners of the library. I also learned how long it took my parents to return a call. I called my mom one night. "Hey, I just wanted to check in." She sounded busy. "Is everything okay?" "Yeah," I said. "Classes started." "That's good," she replied. "Study hard." I waited. She didn't ask anything else. "I made the dean's list for orientation placement," I said. "That's nice," she said. "Jason called earlier. He's struggling with math." "Oh," I said. "Did you help him?" "We're sending him some extra money," she said. "College is stressful." "Right," I said. She cleared her throat. Anything else? No, I said. That's it. Okay, she said. Be patient, Ethan. Things work out. The line went dead. Mark leaned back in his chair and said, That sounded rough. It was fine, I said. You say that a lot, he said. They're just busy, I said. Jason needs more help. Why? He asked. You're both in college. He struggles, I said. I don't. Mark frowned. Or they just think you don't. I laughed. You're reading too much into it. Am I? He asked. When was the last time they asked how you felt? I didn't answer. A week later, my dad texted. Saw Jason's grades. Proud of him. I stared at my phone. I typed. I aced my first quiz, then erased it. That night, I called home again. My dad answered. What's up? I wanted to talk, I said. Make it quick, he said. Your aunt's here. I might need help with rent next month, I said carefully. There was a pause. We'll see, he said. Be patient. I am patient, I said. Good, he replied. You always are. The call ended. I sat on my bed and stared at the wall. Mark watched me quietly. They didn't say no, I said. They didn't say yes, he said. I opened a notebook and wrote. Why does waiting feel like begging? I closed it fast, like someone might catch me. A package arrived the next day. It wasn't for me. It was Jason's name on the label. New clothes. Shoes. Mark raised his eyebrows. You sure this is normal? They're helping family, I said. That's what families do. And you're not, he asked. I snapped. I didn't say that. He held up his hands. I'm not attacking them. I'm worried about you. I don't need worrying, I said. That night, I wrote again. I keep defending them. Why? I didn't have an answer. My mom forgot my birthday. She remembered Jason's roommate's name. When I reminded her, she laughed. Oh, I thought it was tomorrow. It was today, I said. Well, she said, happy birthday. I waited for more. There was nothing. I told Mark, it's not a big deal. He said, it is when it keeps happening. I started asking myself questions I didn't like. If I stop calling, will they notice? If I stop trying, will I disappear? One night, Mark asked, are you living or just getting through days? I said, what's the difference? He looked at me for a long time. Love shouldn't feel like a reward. I lay in bed later and whispered, what if it is? I opened my journal and wrote, maybe silence is their answer. My hand shook, but I didn't erase it. I stared at the words until they felt real. For the first time, I stopped waiting for my phone to light up. I didn't feel free. I felt empty. But inside that emptiness, something honest finally spoke, and I knew I had been surviving, not living, for longer than I wanted to admit. The email from the housing office came first. Final notice, it said. I read it 3 times, hoping the words would change. Rent was due. Tuition was short. My fridge held 2 eggs and a bottle of water. I laughed once and said, okay, like the room could hear me. I called my mom. Can you talk? She sighed. Make it quick. I'm in trouble, I said. Real trouble. What kind? She asked. Money, I said. Rent, food, tuition. All at once. There was a pause. College is hard, she said. Everyone struggles. I know, I said. I'm asking for help. She lowered her voice. We already sent Jason money this month. I'm not Jason, I said. She replied, that's not fair. What's not fair? I asked. Comparing, she said. You're stronger. I'm tired of being strong, I said. She said nothing. I called my dad next. Dad, I need you. He cleared his throat. What's going on? I explained everything. Slowly. Calmly. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse. When I finished, he said, we didn't plan for this. I didn't plan to be hungry, I said. He sighed. Be patient. I've been patient my whole life, I said. That's enough, he replied. We can't fix everything. I'm not asking for everything, I said. Just help. He said, we'll talk later. Later never came. That night, Mark knocked on my door. You look wrecked. They said no, I said. They didn't say no, he said. They didn't say yes, I answered. He sat beside me. What now? I shrugged. I guess I wait. My phone buzzed. A picture popped up in the family group chat. Jason stood next to a shiny car, smiling wide. My mom typed, so proud of you. My aunt added, he deserves it. Mark watched my face. Is that real? They bought him a car, I said. For college, he asked. For breathing, I said. Something went quiet inside me. Not angry. Empty. I called my parents together. I saw the car. My mom said, "Isn't it nice?" "It is," I said. "I'm happy for him." My dad said, "Jason needs motivation." "So do I," said. My mom replied, "You've always handled things well." "That's because I had no choice," I said. She laughed softly. "Don't be dramatic." That word cut deeper than shouting. "I'm not dramatic," I said. "I'm done asking." There was silence. "You'll figure it out," my dad said. "I already am," I replied. I hung up before they could speak again. My hands were steady. That scared me more than shaking. Mark said, "You okay?" "No," I said. "But I'm clear." "About what?" he asked. "I won't beg," I said. I opened my journal and wrote. Today I stopped asking. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just felt tired. The next morning, I applied for more hours at work. I sold old books. I skipped meals. I paid part of the rent. My mom texted, "Everything okay?" I stared at it. I typed yes. Then I deleted it. I didn't reply. Days passed. Then weeks. No calls. No apologies. I felt lighter and heavier at the same time. One night, Mark asked, "Do you miss them?" "I miss who I thought they were," I said. "Is that worse?" he asked. "Yes," I said. I lay in bed and whispered, "I choose me." It sounded wrong. It felt right. I didn't know how I'd survive alone. I only knew I would. And for the first time, fear didn't push me to beg. It pushed me to stand still, breathe, and walk forward without looking back. My phone started ringing again after months of silence. Not my name lighting up the screen. Not concern. Just habit. I answered once. "Hello." My mom rushed out words. "Jason isn't answering his phone." I said, "I'm in class." She didn't pause. "He skipped another lecture." "I don't know his schedule," I said. She sighed. "He's been out late." "Parties." "That's college," I said. "This is different," she replied. "He's changing." I waited for her to ask about me. She didn't. My dad called the next day. "We're worried." "About what?" I asked. "Jason's grades," he said. "They're slipping." "I'm sorry to hear that," I said. "We don't know what to do," he said. I almost laughed. "Almost. What do you want from me?" I asked. There was silence. "We thought you might talk to him." I said, "Why?" "You always listened," my dad replied. I said nothing. Mark watched me end the call. "You okay?" "They want help," I said. "Do they?" he asked. "Or do they want relief?" I stared at the wall. "I won't fix it." "Good," Mark said. "You're learning." The calls kept coming. My mom cried once. "He's wasting everything." I said, "I warned you." She snapped, "This isn't about you." I said quietly, "It never was." Jason finally texted me. "Man, college sucks." I replied, "Why?" "Too many rules," he said. "No one's helping." I stared at the screen. My fingers hovered. Then I typed, "Figure it out." He sent a laughing emoji. "You've changed." "Yes," I typed. I had to. Days passed. Then weeks. My parents stopped pretending everything was fine. They stopped praising. They stopped bragging. My mom called again. "He missed midterms." "That's serious," I said. "We're scared," she said. "So was I replied. She whispered, "You never told us." "I did," I said. "You didn't hear me." Mark nodded when I told him. Silence teaches faster than speeches. "It feels cruel," I said. "It's not," he said. "It's honest." Jason posted pictures online. Parties. Bottles. Smiles that didn't reach his eyes. Professor Brooks emailed me. "Your work is improving. Let's discuss opportunities." I smiled alone in my room. Emily asked, "Why do you look lighter today?" "I stopped carrying things that aren't mine," I said. She squeezed my hand. "That's brave." My mom texted, "Can you come home this weekend?" I replied, "No." "Why?" she asked. "I have work," I said. "And class." She typed, "We need you." I stared at the words. I typed, "You always did." Then I turned off my phone. Mark said, "You don't owe explanations." "I know," I said. "I just needed to hear it once." One night, my dad left a voicemail. "We didn't see this coming." I said to the empty room, "I did." Jason stopped messaging. My parents stopped calling every day. Nothing dramatic happened. No fights. No apologies. Just consequences. I walked across campus and felt steady. My grades were strong. My jobs paid. My life moved forward. Emily asked, "Do you feel bad?" "Sometimes," I said. Do you feel wrong? She asked. No, I said. She nodded. Then you're fine. I realized something simple and heavy at the same time. Karma didn't need my help. It didn't need my anger or my plans. It only needed time. I wasn't invisible anymore. I wasn't waiting. And even if no one said it out loud, the balance had shifted. For once, I wasn't the one falling behind. I didn't tell my parents I took a second job. I didn't tell them about the night shifts or the early mornings. I told Mark instead. You're serious? He asked. I don't have a choice, I said. You're going to burn out, he said. Maybe, I replied. But I won't be begging. At the cafe, my manager looked at me and said, You again? I can cover nights, I said. She nodded. You're reliable. I like that. No one had said that to me in a long time. Between classes, I ran to the bookstore job. My supervisor handed me a schedule. You're fast, he said. Want extra hours? Yes, I said without thinking. I lived on coffee and silence. My phone stayed face down. One afternoon, Professor Brooks stopped me after class. Ethan, wait. I froze. Yes, sir? Your paper, he said. Why didn't you speak up in discussion? I didn't think it mattered, I said. He smiled. It matters. You think clearly. I laughed nervously. I usually keep my head down. Lift it, he said. You belong here. Those words followed me all day. That night, Mark said, You're smiling. I think someone finally saw me, I said. Good, he replied. About time. Emily appeared a week later, quietly, like she'd always been there. She sat beside me in the library and whispered, Is this seat taken? No, I said. She pointed at my notes. You're organized. I'm tired, I said. She smiled. Same. We talked about classes, jobs, bad coffee. She didn't ask about my family. I liked that. One night, she said, You listen more than you talk. I've had practice, I said. With what? She asked. Not being asked, I replied. She didn't push. She just nodded. My grades came back higher than before. Professor Brooks emailed me. Keep going. I read it twice. Mark clapped me on the shoulder. Look at you. I'm just working, I said. No, he said. You're growing. My mom texted one night. Haven't heard from you. I stared at the message. My chest stayed calm. I locked my phone and went back to work. Emily noticed. You okay? Yes, I said. I think so. You don't sound sure, she said. I'm learning, I said. About what? She asked. Myself, I said. She smiled softly. That's the hard part. Weeks passed. Paycheck stacked. Confidence followed. Professor Brooks asked, Ever thought about research? Me. I said. Yes, he said. You're capable. No one had ever said that so plainly. I walked back to my dorm and said out loud, I'm capable. It sounded strange. It felt good. Emily met me for coffee. You look different. How? I asked. Lighter, she said. Stronger. I stopped waiting, I said. For what? She asked. For permission, I replied. She reached across the table. You don't need it. That night, I didn't check my phone at all. I wasn't angry. I wasn't planning revenge. I was busy becoming someone they wouldn't recognize. Mark said, You ever wonder what they'll say? Maybe, I said. But I won't wait to hear it. I looked at my reflection in the dark window and barely recognized myself either. For the first time, that didn't scare me. I was leaving the library when my phone rang. My mom's name flashed. I almost didn't answer. Hi, I said. We're on campus, she said. Your professor called us. I stopped walking. Which professor? Brooks, my dad said, loud through the speaker. He said you're doing great. I closed my eyes. Okay. We wanted to see you, my mom added. In person. I met them outside the student center. They looked proud, like they were borrowing a feeling. My dad smiled too wide. My mom reached for my arm. There he is, she said. Our son. I stepped back. What do you want? My mom blinked. We just wanted to say we're proud. Now? I asked. My dad cleared his throat. We didn't realize how well you were doing. I told you, I said. You didn't listen. Jason stood a few steps away, staring at his shoes. My mom said, We're sorry if you felt ignored. If? I asked. She corrected herself. We're sorry you were ignored. That's better, I said. My dad said, We made mistakes. You made choices, I replied. They exchanged looks. My mom said, We thought you were fine. I wasn't, I said. I just stopped asking. Jason finally spoke. I didn't know it was this bad. I looked at him. You never asked. He nodded. I should have. Silence sat between us. My mom said, "Can we start over?" I shook my head. I don't know. That hurts, she said. I know, I replied. I lived there. My dad said, "We want to help now." With what? I asked. With whatever you need, he said. I breathed in slowly. I need honesty. We're being honest, my mom said. No, I said. You're being relieved. Jason flinched. My mom frowned. That's not fair. It is, I said. You're proud because someone else told you to be. My dad said, that's not true. Then why didn't you come before? I asked. No one answered. Emily walked up and paused. Hey, she said softly. This is my family, I said. She nodded. Nice to meet you. My mom smiled too fast. You must be special. Emily said, he is. That did something to my chest. My dad said, we didn't mean to hurt you. I believe that, I said. But meaning isn't enough. My mom whispered, do you forgive us? I looked at her. Not yet. Her eyes filled. Will you? I don't know, I said. I'm not there. Jason said, I messed up too. I know, I replied. That's yours to fix. My dad asked, what do you want from us? I thought for a long moment. Space. My mom shook her head. That feels like punishment. It's protection, I said. Emily squeezed my hand. Mark watched from a bench, quiet and solid. My dad said, we love you. I believe you, I said. But love without action taught me to leave. My mom said, well, wait. I'm not asking you to, I said. I'm asking you to respect me. They nodded, unsure. Jason finally met my eyes. I'm sorry. Take care of yourself, I said. That's all. They left slower than they arrived. Emily asked, how do you feel? Clean, I said. And sad. She said, both can be true. I watched them disappear and felt steady. I didn't win. I didn't lose. I chose truth, and that was enough for today. I waited for the bus again one morning, but this time I wasn't angry. Emily stood beside me, hands in her coat pockets. You still take the bus? She asked. Yeah, I said. I like it. She smiled. You're weird. I know, I said. It reminds me where I started. She looked at me. Does it still hurt? No, I said. It explains things. We sat down, and she said, your parents texted you? Yes, I said. What did they say? She asked. They said they're proud, I replied. And? She asked. And nothing, I said. That was it. She nodded. How did that feel? Quiet, I said. Not heavy. Just quiet. The bus arrived late. I didn't mind. Emily said, you don't talk about them much anymore. I don't need to, I said. They live where they live. She asked, do you ever wonder if they regret it? I'm sure they do, I said. But that's theirs. She leaned her head on my shoulder. You don't sound bitter. I'm not, I said. I'm done surviving. We rode in silence for a while. Then she said, you earned this life. I did, I said. Every piece. Later that day, Mark met me for lunch. Graduation's coming. I know, I said. Your parents coming? He asked. I told them they could, I said. And, he asked. And I won't look for them, I said. Mark smiled. That's growth. I used to think being chosen meant being picked, I said. Now I know it means choosing myself. Mark raised his drink. To the long way. I raised mine. To not being carried. That night, I sat with Emily on the steps outside my dorm. She asked, if you could change that first bus ride, would you? I thought about it. No. Why not? She asked. Because I wouldn't be here, I said. I wouldn't be me. She squeezed my hand. I like this version. So do I said. My mom texted again. We miss you. I typed, I hope you're well, and sent it. Emily watched me. That's all. That's all, I said. She smiled. You're free. I watched the lights in the windows across campus. Students laughing, moving, becoming. I said, I used to think being left behind meant I wasn't worth the ride. Emily said, what do you think now? I think the ride taught me how to walk, I said. She laughed softly. That's very you. I stood up and said, come on. Where? She asked. Forward, I said. We walked without rushing. I didn't win anything loud. I didn't prove anyone wrong with words. I didn't need applause. I built a life that fit me. I learned to stand without asking. I learned that silence could be an answer, but it didn't have to be mine. The bus drove past, full of strangers, and I smiled. I took the long way, and it didn't break me. It changed me.